You know, making your first sort of big studio picture, was there a freedom there, or was it
No, it
another
wasn't a
learning
freedom.
curve?
I mean, it was extremely hard. I was not used to a system in which you don't say what you mean. So if I didn't think something worked, I'd say I didn't think something worked. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but, well, like Ray Stark, for instance, this is a very old world, kind of, talk about Me Too. This is very old school thinking. This is the guy who discovered Barbra Streisand. And he thought I looked like Barbra Streisand, so he would, like in his inflamed moment, say, "Barbara, you don't know what the fuck you're doing." He would come on the set and scream at me. And he, you know, I was the first young female director. Elaine May, around the same time, was making a feature. She was also considered a big troublemaker. Ray and most of the people at Columbia, you know, like couldn't deal with the fact that this chick, because it's not how I would think of myself, but it was how I was perceived, was actually a director. So they would treat me like a child. And like Ray Stark would say, he'd say, "Who do you want for your DP?" And I said, "Well, I really don't know. I have to screen some movies and see who I think would be right." So I'm in a screening room at the Burbank studio screening movies, and he calls me up in the screening room and says, "Sweetheart, I got you a great DP. I signed so-and-so and so-and-so." And I'm like, I don't know how I was able to say this, but I said, "Well, if you got yourself a DP, you can get yourself a new director." So at that point, he considered me crazy, ungrateful, a bitch. You know, like, who the fuck did I think I was? He was giving me this opportunity of a lifetime. He'd hired a great DP, and I was like telling him to fuck off, basically.
And you know, what do you think about with your sort of post-career? Was there a reason you never tried to make another theatrical film, or was it something that you felt was off limits to you after that?
It was, I think it was a pretty complicated thing. The experience of making It's My Turn was so disagreeable that it wasn't something I was eager to jump back into. And it was too hard by then to go back to the independent filmmaking, you know, where your mother's cooking lunch for everybody, or you're taking the subway to work, or you're borrowing 1Ks from somebody. You know, you can't do that anymore once you've done a feature in Hollywood. You can't go back to that. So I was sort of stuck between really not wanting to make Hollywood films and no longer quite able to do the other. And also, by then I was like close to 39 and I really wanted to have children. So I had a couple of children. Sometimes I feel like a, you know, like a one-trick pony. You know, that you come out and show the same old film over and over, and you sort of wish you had a new film to show, but then you have your life, you know.